So bear with me, I decided to be a MacGyver and make my own hands-free recording device, so it might swing a little bit. Hopefully you don't get motion sickness. So in this one, I'm going to do suctioning of a tracheostomy. So here we go. I'd first introduce myself to the patient. So hello, Mr. Jones. My name is Brenna and I'll be your student nurse. And I will identify this patient by two identifiers, his name and his birthday, and I will verify the provider's orders. And once I know that I have the right equipment and what I need to do, I will go ahead and provide privacy, and I'll have all my stuff on a clean surface. Clustered, I know. I will then perform hand hygiene. I will tell Mr. Jones why we need to do tracheostomy suction. I'll answer any questions he has, and then I will obtain consent from him. Once he says that it's okay for me to do the procedure, I will then proceed. I will raise the bed to hip level, comfortable working position, and I will place the patient in a semi-Fowler to Fowler's position. I will then auscultate lung sounds, so I'm actually going to do that. So here, here, here. And then we'll do so on and so forth. All right, once I don't hear anything abnormal, I will go ahead and increase the supplement of oxygen and hyperoxygenate Mr. Jones. So I'll have him take a few deep breaths in, and I will go ahead and use an ambu bag or other oxygen, all that kind of good stuff. So once that is done, I will then perform hand hygiene, and I will don on PPE, so face mask and eyewear. I will then get all my stuff ready. So first I'm going to open this up, and I will keep everything sterile. So there we are. And then I will also open my gloves. Before I do all of this, I will check my suction device to make sure that it's at 100 and 120 millimeters of mercury. And since I already did that, I know that that's right, and I will go ahead and get all this stuff ready. So I'm going to go ahead and move this for a second. And this is my sterile, and this is for my saline. I'm just going to move it over here for now. So with my dominant hand, I will go ahead and take out the catheter, the suction catheter, and I will wrap it around my dominant hand. And with my non-dominant hand, I will go ahead and turn on the suctioning device, and again, make sure it's at 100 to 120 millimeters of mercury. I will then attach this part to the suction device. Of course, I don't have one. But this hand is now considered non-sterile. I will then dip the catheter into my saline. Let me bring that back over here. Sorry. Still sterile. It would have been over here. And then I would put that in just to flush the catheter and make it moist so it makes it easier for insertion. I will then, with my non-dominant hand, remove Mr. Jones' trach mask, if he had one. And then I will go ahead and insert the suction catheter into the tracheostomy until I meet resistance or until Mr. Jones starts to cough. So I'm going to go in. And I will not have my hand on the suction. That would be bad. And then once I've met resistance, I'll bring it back out about half an inch. And then I will apply suction. And I would move it around a little bit and bring it back out. It should only go in there for about 10 to 15 seconds and relieve the suction. I will then reapply oxygen to the trach. If I were to do it again, and then I would also auscultate lung sounds before I went ahead and had this suction catheter go in one more time. And I would rinse before I put it in to kind of clear it, the tubing. And then I would go in again for the second time if I needed. Once I'm finished, I will go ahead and I will disconnect the suction tubing and I will dispose of the catheter and I will perform hand hygiene. After I take my gloves off, of course.